Hello, this is Dawn. Welcome to my art room and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's lovely to have you. And today I'm working on my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery Volume 7 Still Life. And the prompt that we're working on at the moment is a ginger jar or a large vase of flowers. So I like ginger jars. I have two. One is a new one and one is an old one. And both quite different in their shapes and sizes. And so I thought what I would do is have a little bit of a play on my pieces. So hold on to your seats while I move you around and let you know what I'm working on at the moment. So I'm just going to tip you like that and move these. I brought them out so that I could have a little bit of an idea of shapes and sizes and things. And so what I've done is I've cut myself a couple of templates, one taller, one shorter. This one could probably be a little bit shorter in relation to its, but what I wanted to do was place it all around here. So I'm just gonna flatten you out again a little bit further, sorry. And so what I've done is I've taken my squares off. So if you're unsure about what I'm doing, sorry, this one's upside down. I'm actually doing four that will join together, but they will overlap the canvases. So I've ruled the edge so I know that I can't go past those red lines. I've made them red so that I can see them more than anything else prior to joining anything else onto them. But I thought if I show you what I was doing, then you've got a bit of an idea too. Cool. All right, so I've just got this last one to do. And like I said, I'm using the red pen so that I can see it. It's an iron off pen. It'll come off in heat. Can iron it, or if I don't want to put the iron here, I can, it'll come off with a hairdryer. And just point the hairdryer at it, and I've done that with little tiny things that I actually don't want to put, under the iron. Cool. Alright, so I'm sorry you can hear the fan. It's another warm day. Well, it has been warm. It was it said it only here, where we live, it only got to 26 degrees, which is like 78 in Fahrenheit. Which is normally pretty nice. But when I went out shopping, my car, the temperature, the temperature gauge in my car told me that it was 31 outside. So I'm not sure about that 26. It certainly feels hotter. We've got the cooler on and I've got the fan just to keep the air moving here. So this is what it was like when I pinned it on, just to make sure that I was happy with the look of that, and I still am. I've been sorting out some fabrics. I thought that I didn't have very many fabrics with large flowers, which also is part of the prompt, is the ginger jar as a vase for a large bouquet of flowers. But looking for them, I've found that I had more than I did. All right, I'm going to keep working on this and I'll come back to you shortly. Okay, bye. Okay, so I kept working on it, and so what I'm doing is just making sure that I've got that marker, because I know that, number one, I need to go over the edge a bit, but I also need to make sure that I go past that red line, because that'll do a disappearing act. So while I've been gone, I had a lovely stitch and chat with my lovely friend Corinne. Actually, her and I had a bit of a chat together. We've both been working on a quilt, and so it was nice to sort of pick each other's brains while we fiddled around with that. So that was lovely. I'm sure you'll hear from her soon. Anyway, while I did that, I went through a couple of ideas. I used my little paper pieces that I made some patterns that, you know, they've just done a disappearing act on my table. But anyway, yeah, just trying to decide where I was going to put my vase. And I'll take you up a bit, which is way higher than, you know, is great for videoing. And so I've decided I found this piece of fabric and that I thought that I didn't have anything. And then I remembered these fabrics that I bought as a pack from Lucello, which is a company here, and some of their fabrics are feed sacks. I found this gorgeous piece of fabric in my stash. I also found this lovely piece of fabric with some gorgeous flowers on. So, yeah, they're going to make an appearance. And so out of the Lucello fabric, I decided to, here are my little things that I just played around with till I worked out, you know, where I wanted to put pieces. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So this is sort of like the top of my table here. And so what I finally decided, with a little bit of chatting, was to go for this piece. How gorgeous is that? It looks like something out of a gorgeous piece of antique china from China. And so, yeah, so that was my rough sketch of my ginger jar that I have of that shape. Rachel showed us how she had a piece, you know, a sketch that she made. She folded the paper in half and cut it so that she ended up with an even shape. So I went, yep, that was a perfect idea. I loved this piece of fabric with the bird on it. And so what I've done is, you can see here that it goes a little bit beyond the paper. And so I've thought that I'll do it as a needle turn. I thought it might look quite nice raised slightly off the table. And for this piece, because all of my designs will go beyond that, because I'm, you know, doing, you know, there's going to be a space. I'm leaving myself that sort of like, it's not an inch, but it's, you know, it's about that. The same on the sides here. There'll be I've done those red lines so that I know where I'm going. But I thought, having, you know, we chatted and talked, and we both agreed that it was probably better on this side. And so what will happen is, just give you a little bit of a tilt. The flowers will go here into this space. I don't know what's going to go over here yet. Could be anything. I was laughing, going, this bit of doily that I stitched on, you know, just because I thought it looked nice, I thought kind of looks like a chair back, like somebody's pulled their chair up to the table and there's going to might be sit there. So yeah, I didn't notice that till after I'd done it. Funny. So yeah, so here's my vase. I think it's not going to sit at the top of the table because it will then end up going over just, and that's going to destroy that look. So I'm going to pull it down and it's going to come probably closer to the bottom of the table rather than the top of the table. I just think that's better. So I'm going to needle turn it around, you know, quite small. And I'm now going to look at this piece of fabric, which I love. I have no idea what this fabric is. It's possibly an upholstery fabric. I've got really no idea. It's you know, it's quite firm, but I really love the colours of it. And I think on this piece with the vase, yeah, I think that's going to look great. So yeah, so that's my next little bit that I'm going to add to this. So I'm going to fussy cut these flowers out. I'm not going to stitch anything down in this video. I'm going to fussy cut these. I love this blue. I don't know why, but that blue and that gorgeous yellow rose with those blue bits, all these bits. I didn't know what I was going to do, and it was accidentally that I found this piece of fabric that I couldn't have told you that I even owned. There's not a lot of full flowers, but maybe I can, you know, play with them a little bit. But I love these bluey purple ones, so they're definitely going to be a feature. There's another bit up there. I'm glad I've got all those bits. All right, I love those sort of like really deep colours. I think they will look good on this piece. So I'm going to put you on hold while I play with that. I just wanted to give you that heads up. Here's my vase. Definitely think it looks the part, just by the by. I think it looks like it should be there. That means I've still got all of this area of the table to continue to add to my still life. I've got this bit of here that my flowers can come out to. I'm not covering too much of this at the moment. So yeah, all right, I'll keep playing. I'm just only going to fussy cut those flowers. I'm going to add them as I go along, come back and show you where I'm going with that, and that'll probably be as much as this video is. All right, I'll be back quicker than a wink. Okay, bye. Cool, I'm back. It's the next day. It's Saturday today. We've had a bit of an industrious morning, and it's the afternoon, and yes, the fan's on again, I'm sorry. But, yep, Paul was cleaning our air conditioner and I was making plum jam. That was good. But I also cut out lots of flowers and thought I needed to go away and think about it before I came back to you. And then I thought I would keep fiddling around. So now that you've seen the whole thing, I might bring you back down again, just so that I can see what you're seeing while I'm talking to you. Maybe a little bit further. How's that? Good. That looks all right. What I did do was I pinned over, you know, that edging, because I really needed to see more than just the red lines. I thought that was going to be sufficient, and it wasn't. So I've pinned over all of that edging that's going to go over the canvas. And now I'm just trying to make some sense out of the flowers that I haven't yet. So I thought, well, I might as well come and chat to you about all of that and see where we get to. Because what I'm mindful of now is needing to cut. So this one will probably get cut through there so that it folds over the top one, and this one folds over the back one. And yeah, did you hear that hesitation? That's because there is one. There's some other bits that I'm going to need to cut through, so I just thought that one could go over there. But before I cut anything, I need to make sure that this is really, 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 really where I wanted to go with it. I thought I'd make a feature of that yellow rose, so I don't want that to be cut at all. So I'm playing with that, so that's probably more than I need. I might actually put a pin in that just to remind myself that it can't keep getting pulled about the place. Ugh, bring you down a little bit just so I can reach it. Yeah, I think there. Well, let's actually put a pin in now and then see what happens next. Because that little rosebud there, and that sort of like probably the, it'll stop shy of being turned over, and I think that's okay. The blue flowers there, that one will go, that bit will get turned over, so that bit probably needs to come off, and it can be reattached to here so that I can, you'll see it down the side of the frame. I hope my vision is clear enough. I'm just wondering what that's going to look like. And that bit goes over there. Is it going to look a bit crazy? It might not. I'll just actually have a look and see. All right, cool. I hope you're all good. We certainly are. Like I said, we've both had a busy morning this morning, being industrious around our little jobs. I went to a, you can't see what I'm doing now. I was playing down here. I went to one of those market stores, fresh food, which is what we have here. It's like a farm. I don't know whether that needs to go over there or that. Anyway, they had they had boxes of plums that were well and truly ripe. So they were ripe for making jam or sauce or whatever, but I made jam. Plum jam, blood plums we like, and that's a favourite in this house. So, sorry, I'm looking at the screen while I'm talking to you and thinking. Yeah, so I got some of that done while Paul played with the air conditioner. It's just been sort of like depositing these bits of, like black fluff or something. I don't know what it was. So he got on good old YouTube and worked out what to do. I think this is coming down too low there. So I just need to work through that one. I've got these other big roses here as well. And these sort of like a gerbera, I think. I thought they would look pretty cool. I mean, they're on the same piece of fabric, so they're in the same colour tone, which then just makes it work good together. All right, so that's probably pointless, but we can have a bit of a play with it. I really like those big green leaves, but They look a bit queer up there. I'm just thinking they need probably to be closer to the jar, which is going to cause me grief if the rose gets folded over. All right. I'll keep thinking about it. I just don't know, really. I really don't know. I really don't know. I was going to use some of this grey fabric that I'd used in my Fleur Woods piece and embroider into them. And, you know, I still might. That might help solve that problem. Because then I can just pick up some embroidery threads. Actually, while I think about that, I'll cut it out. Cool. So this is really just going to be one of those absolute planning videos. There's not probably going to be much stitching go on, because I think once I get it laid out, I'm probably going to have to leave it there and you walk away and see what it looks like before I commit to it. Well, I don't even mind unpicking things that I don't like. I just unpicked some of my Gosling quilt because I wasn't happy with how I was making it work, but you know, that's all right. I'd rather unpick it and get it to a point that I'm happy with than be forever disappointed that I didn't unpick it. So yeah, that's me. This is a linen fabric, which is it's probably going to fray more than this one, being an upholstery, so I just need to be careful of how I stitch that down. I mean, it's not going to stay grey. I'm going to needle thread, thread paint over it, like I did on my Fleur piece that I showed in my last video. Yeah, I think my last video. I've had a crazy week this week, so I haven't done any. Well, I've done a little bit of stitching, but I haven't done any videoing. It's been one of those weeks that, you know, you just get busy with family and friends too, actually. So yeah, so no videoing. But I'm here today, Saturday again, which I think it might have been last Saturday. Gosh, I would like to do videoing more often. I don't know what happened to this week. All I'm doing is trying to work out about, I don't know whether I really am going to use it. You know, they're very different flowers to the other ones. And so I don't think they're going to work. So let's go back to this story. I actually think that this needs to come down. I really and truly do. Which sadly is going to mean, all right, I think I can take him up a little bit higher. Where is there a thing? So what I'm going to do is measure. That's probably about as high as I can go before that will tip over the edge. And while I'm happy with the look of it tipping over the edge, I didn't want the rose to be half in, half out. I think I would rather that the rose was all out. So what I'm going to have to do, I think, is cut this and reposition. All right, that's just, it's not working, so it's not working. So I might as well do something about it not working. It's a funny fabric. I have no idea what it is, but it's got this unusual texture on it. Let me have a think about. I'm going to cut those there and leave that. All right. Yeah. it's sort of like, it's almost like in a pattern. It's got lines and then these lines through it. Then it's got these dots. Very unusual. No idea what it is. I don't think this bottom leaf needs to have a full stem on it. If the leaves folded over, I'll be happy about that. So, oh well, maybe he just has to go slightly. Nah, it's weird, isn't it? That it's just going to be that size, and that's all. All right, I think I'm going to have to not have him as close to the jar, and maybe it's going to be one of these that disguises that. I love those beautiful coloured leaves. Those mauvey coloured leaves are just gorgeous. What happened to the other bit? Gosh, I don't know how things can just do a disappearing act on the desk, the table. I think, sorry, nearly forgot you were there. Are you all having this much fun with trying to work out where you want to put things? You know, I think they'll be good there, like, you know, closer to the vase. So I'm going to forfeit that bit of stem there. And he can go there. And then I reckon, it's a terrible word, isn't it? That will be just above. Okay. That bit can come out. But if I can get to just cut one piece for you so you can see where my head is with that. Alright, that's going to fold down. That one's going to fold down. That's going to fold down. Alright. Oops, I really need them close together so I know where they're going to fold, because that's the join there. All right, you can see what I'm doing, fiddling around here. I might come back when I finally I won't cut anything. I'm just not going to cut anything, maybe today even. But what I'll do is I'm going to get to a layout that I'm actually happy with, because as you can see, it's time consuming. You know, it takes a bit of time to get it to the right where you want it to be. I've got this extra bit of blue here that's going to be a part of the picture as well. So I've got 4 bits of blue. He might go. 3 is good. And I've got another rosebud. So that can be, you know, in here somewhere. And I've got these sort of half roses. They were on the edges, and I thought that I might be able to include them. So, you know, that's what I'm working with. And I think there's another gerbera. Oh, there is. I think it's a gerbera. We'll call it a gerbera. There's another full gerbera. Oh, there's even more blue, and there's lots more leaves. So I've got a bit of cutting to do and a bit of fiddling. But that's all right. When I've got to that point, I'll come back. I just wanted to share this bit with you. Alrighty, back in a sec. Okay, I think I'm close. Like I said, I'm going to leave it sit here for a little bit, keep walking past it. There is going to be a cut through here, and I'm fine with it. There's going to be a cut here, and probably about about there somewhere, and that bit will fall over here. What I noticed was it was sort of like leaning this way. I've talked about my floral arranging once before, and I'm not good at it. So, but anyway, it did look like it was leaning. So I've added a few extra leaves here, and I thought with embroidery, I can add more little twiddly green bits. I almost covered up that whole bit of background, but you know, it's there. It's just underneath there, and I can still see it, and I know it's there. You know, I think it, yeah, works for me. I added a little bit of extra blue here, which we'll tuck over. Found these little Singapore orchids on that bit of fabric that I don't think the others are. Don't look like Singapore orchids, but these ones do. All the Singapore orchids that we have here. And then I thought, there's a few bits that have fallen on the table. Nothing's stuck down. Nothing is pinned down yet. I'm going to walk away, and that lovely rose is still the one that, you know, I think is working good. These are all bits of those edge bits of flowers, which, you know, you can't tell now. I wish there was a third gerbera, but there isn't. That's so be it. There's a bit of a red rose down here, which sort of, yeah, I'm hoping helps that along. Nothing else yellow over here yet, bits of yellow, and I think, you know, that's even that pinky bit, you know, there's that little bit of, you know, I think they're working together. You might as well know where my head is. I was going to needle turn the vase, but I actually worried now that if I do that, I'm going to reduce its size. So I reckon I might just use better English. I think that I might just overcast it with a matching thread. You won't notice it, I don't think. Cool. All right. I think I'm okay with it. It might change before it's finished. But for now, I'm going to leave it sit here on my table and keep wandering past occasionally. I probably need to put some pins in it so the fan doesn't blow it away. Cool. All right. That's me for this week. I'll catch you again really soon. I'm so glad we've got 4 weeks to do it. I'm obviously going to need 4 weeks. Okay, take care.